We are the fourth. We are South.
We welcome you to the Friday Night Showdown, the Braves and the Brewers from Miller Park. It's presented by Kaiser Permanente. They're always ready to roll out the barrel here in Milwaukee. Last night, though, the Braves were zing, boom, terrelled. The Brewers won 7-2 in the series opener. Freddie Freeman of the Braves with a one-game lead in the East hope to even up this series on a gorgeous night for National League Baseball. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, welcome back to the ballpark. Atlanta got beat last night, 7-2 the final. Another short outing, this time by Max Fried, who had to leave with a blister problem. Short outings have been a problem for the Braves staff of late, Joe. 10 of the last 15 have been 5 innings or less. And tonight into the fray goes Mike Fultonevich, who picked up the win last time against the Cardinals in oppressive heat in St. Louis.
He's gone 11 starts with less than one run, one or less allowed in those starts, and he's been outstanding most of the year. Tonight he needs to be the stopper. He was just that in St. Louis. He stopped the Cardinals cold, but the heat got to him and slowed him down. He had to come out after 5 innings, but he was brilliant while he was in there. And his line against the Cardinals bears that out. He struck out 9 in 5 innings. 4-2 in his last 9 starts, a sub-1 ERA. Look at that. 5 earned runs in 52 innings. Are you kidding me? Second in ERA, second in opponent's batting average against him. Let's hope he can turn the tables on the Brewers tonight.
Mike is Arsenovas' Greatness Made Here feature. He will pitch on a perfect night. It's about 30, maybe 40 degrees cooler in Milwaukee tonight than it was in his last outing against the Cardinals.
You know what?
What's that?
I have like polka, dot, scarf.
It's a guaranteed win then. Kelsey will talk to Mike about his last outing in St. Louis and how he prepared for his start against the Brewers here at Miller Park.
Showdown for you here tonight, and the Braves fans have come in full force. We have plenty of Braves fans here in the crowd, hopefully getting ready to cheer their Braves on to a victory. And you know what? You couldn't ask for for a more beautiful day than the day we've had here, and somebody who's really grateful for that is Mike Fultonevich. You heard Chip and Joe talk about the recent success he's had, and really it's been this entire season. But that last start, he really had to fight through that heat in St. Louis, was only able to go 5 innings, but he was at 86 pitches. He could have gone deeper, but he is well rested. His wife and his son have surprised him here in Milwaukee, and he's ready to go. But what made that last start so difficult? Let's hear from today's starting pitcher.
It was hot out to start with, and on day games, on start days anyways, it's hard for me to eat. And that day I just had a banana and a bowl of cereal, and yeah, so I mean that heat, it'll take it out of you right away. So I was trying to get some fluids and a banana, kind of applesauce in between the innings, but it was helping out a little. But I'm just such a max effort guy. Once I get out there 3, 4, 5 pitches in, it kind of just sucks all out of my stomach. So I was kind of bending over. It's not that I was tired. It's just there was nothing, food and energy in me there. So, but yeah, like you said, 86 pitches. I wish I could have gone a couple more. When I got out there in the 5th, they, kind of almost assumed that was going to be my last inning. And then, I got like 7 pitches. I was like, oh no, what are we going to do here? So, but yeah, I would have liked to go out one more inning, but just where were we at in that situation? I think I was going to come up pitch hit. I think we had like a 45-minute inning that inning too, and they put runs across the board. But yeah, it was a hot day. Gant had to deal with it too, so that they deal with it a lot more than we have to. But it was a tough workload that day.
You saw Chip and Joe mention it, at .87 ERA in his last 9 starts, and the Braves will hope he can bring that tonight, because you guys, it is a big game. So someone get this man some food, someone get this man some applesauce, because the Braves are going to try to even up the series here in Milwaukee. Mike Fultonevich taking the mound, and you got Chip and Joe taking it to first pitch next.
Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Big crowd filing into Miller Park on a perfect Friday evening for baseball. It's game 2 of this Braves-Brewers series. Atlanta was beaten last night. Let's see if Ender and company can get the series evened at a game apiece. The Braves looking for their 50th win and looking to snap a modest 3-game losing streak. Ender, Ozzie, and Freddie 1, 2, and 3 on the Toyota starting lineup card. Suzuki gets the start behind the plate. Camargo moves up to third base and hits in front of Ronald Acuna Jr. Dansby Swanson at short. Mike Fultonevich, the pitcher, and Atlanta will take their first peek at a very talented young man who has really helped fill in for this injury-riddled Brewers staff Freddie Peralta.
I'm anxious to see him pitch. 22 years old, 6 feet 170 out of the Dominican. He's made one home start, and it was a beaut. 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 10 strikeouts compared to his work on the road. This guy is in the low 90s, but he pitches up in the zone. His pitches, especially his fastball, can live up there, and hitters are having a hard time picking it up. He has a change in curveball, but his secondary pitch is nowhere as good as his fastball. And we've got some impressive numbers to tell you about in the matchups, lefties and righties.
They are eye-popping numbers as Ender gets set to lead off. He's riding a modest 3-game hitting streak, 5 hits in that stretch, including an infield hit here last night. Ender batting .253 on the year, and Peralta goes to work and delivers a strike. Six homers, 33 knocked in for Inciarte. Top 2 hitters had all 3 Atlanta hits last night. The rest of the Braves lineup went 0 for 22 in game 1. They need to spread that offense around a little more liberally and frequently against Peralta tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. High heat wasn't chased. Manny Pena came out of his squat, and it's 1-2. Peralta's just 22 years old. He turned 22 on June the 4th, and one that the Mariners let get away. The pitch. They traded him to Milwaukee as a 20-year-old in a deal for Adam Lind after the 2015 season.
What a great acquisition for Milwaukee.
And that's in the dirt from 0-2 to a full count.
Everybody with their organization talks about what a joy he is to be around, always smiling, so thrilled to be here, enjoying every second of it, not taking anything for granted or feeling like, you know, he should have been here a long time ago. He's just thrilled to be a big leaguer and pitching like it.
The payoff pitch is downstairs, and a nice comeback for Inciarte, who coaxes a leadoff walk. Braves got going last night. A hit batsman, a triple, and a ground ball to the pitcher played in the first 2 runs of the night. Milwaukee scored the last 7. And for the Braves, that gives them 50 first-inning runs this year. A few more tonight wouldn't hurt. And red-hot Ozzie Albies is the Braves batter. He's hit safely in 14 of his last 15 games. 29 hits in that stretch, and a .420 average. And over for a strike.
One of the things that endeared Peralta to his teammates was his last start. He got beat in Cincinnati, but he had thrown 34 pitches in the first inning without getting an out. He was perhaps a pitch or a batter away from coming out of the game. He gave up 3 runs in the first, but then went on to pitch 4 innings, saved the bullpen, and kept them fresh.
So 34 in the first inning. He threw 93 total pitches in that game, and from what you were telling me, the weather in Cincy was a lot like what the Braves faced.
It was very hot, but he'd thrown 34 without an out, so he had to throw even more
to get
out of the inning.
Thank you. 34 without an out. Incredible. Pitch is cut on and missed. It's 0-2. Well, Peralta proved he was ready at AAA. He went 6-1 at Colorado Springs, and his fate would have it, he had a very, shall we say, easy transition from altitude to the major leagues. His first start came at Coors Field when Chase Anderson got sick, and all he did was strike out 13 Rockies in his big league debut. So the timing was perfect, and because of that start, well, why take him out of the rotation?
Sure.
He was back on May 13th. Upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
And already ahead 0-2 twice. He went upstairs to try to get that strikeout, but too far out of the zone against both Ender and Ozzie.
Ozzie's 2 hits last night were extra base hits. He leads the league in that category. And this one's popped up left side. Shaw gives chase, but will not have a play, and we'll do it again. So no surprise that Ozzie is our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature with this red hot stretch.
Yeah, he's hit in 14 of 15, but he's reached in 15 straight. Great on base percentage. He and Ender have scored a ton of runs since they've been back in the number 1 and 2 spot.
And he can't get that 2-strike pitch close enough to get a swing and a miss. Now it's 2-2. So 11 pitches. He doesn't have an out, with Freeman and Markakis lurking in the Braves first.
Pena's got a good arm behind the plate. He's thrown out 30% of base stealers, a real good percentage.
Good lead by Ender. And fouled straight back. Ozzie had a good rip.
Right on that.
You mentioned the hitter's background here last night, how good it is for both offenses in the friendly confines of Miller Park. How's the hitting background now?
Not very good with that bright sunshine coming through the panels down the right field line. Shadows here about as bad as any ballpark in the league.
That's high. Another full count.
He is really telegraphing that off-speed pitch, really slowing his arm action down.
So let's see how the Braves play it here. Ender with 23 steals. It's a full count pitch. Nobody out. Is he running? He is. And the pitch is hammered down the right field line, but it's pulled foul. Right size, wrong shape. Ozzie was all over that.
Yeah, this guy's only given up 1 home run in his first 27+ innings in the big leagues. And those splits we were talking about, right-handers, he hasn't seen one yet. But right-handed hitters are just 3 for 45 against him with 20 strikeouts.
So go lefties go. They're hitting him at 184.
Yeah, yeah, they're 9 for 49.
Right. So pitch number 15, still nobody out. Runner goes. And it's slapped to left. That's going to get down for a base hit. Ender will fly around second. He'll stop at third. Ozzie's on his way to second, and he'll slide in ahead of the throw. Ball got away. Now Ender's coming home. He's going to score. Throw to third in time. So Ozzie makes the first out at third base. Ender scores on the errant throw that got away from Miller at second. It's 1-0 Atlanta, but 1 out.
These guys are so exciting. They put so much pressure on the defense. Little inside out stroke there, gets a run home, because when the throw comes into second from Braun, it's not handled cleanly there by Miller. So Ozzie scores, and Ender scores, but Ozzie got a little carried away with Freddie coming up, trying to get to third base.
So the Braves strike first in the first again. Now Freddie Freeman is the batter. So Atlanta cashes in the leadoff walk. Peralta back to the windup, and Freddie back to the screen foul. It's 0-2. It's been an extended dry spell for the Braves first baseman. Freddie's hitting .154 in his last 16 games. He's dropped 36 points on his batting average in that stretch. One ball, 2 strikes. Did he go? He did not. And it's even 2-2 again. And you're right, Joe. He's gotten to 2 strikes pretty quickly, but has had trouble finishing hitters off.
Right. Like sitting against these guys, 6 homers in 10 games. Told you that he's hit 2 home runs in each of the last 3 series here.
That's hooked and a fair ball down the first base line and fan interference. Freddie Freeman has a double here in the first inning. Nothing Aguiar could do about that. And Freddie Freeman has his 22nd double and his night off to a good start.
This is good old-fashioned Freddie Freeman right here. Fooled on a pitch. It was down, and he just put a top-hand hook on it. Help from the fan, who probably won't be there much longer.
And unfortunately, the overly aggressive base running for Albies cost the Braves a run for the moment.
Yeah, the only fault with that was, you know, you never want to make the first or last out at third base. But you can't fault the Braves for being so aggressive on the bases all year long. They've been exciting. A little hiccup there is not anything to really concern yourself about, just good hustle.
So now Markakis the batter. Freddie's double, the first hit by a Brave, not hitting first or second in the lineup in the series. And a quick strike to the Braves right fielder. Nick at .319 on the year. Looking for his first hit in his last couple of games. 1 is nice, 2 would be even better. The pitch. Good cut. Again 0-2. Albies, by the way, was credited with a double. The error was on Miller on the drop at second base, allowing Ender to score. And the putout went from Miller to Shaw at third base.
I'm glad they charged Miller with the error because it was a decent throw from Braun.
Smoke toward left center field. Yelich on the run. He is going to track that down. Freddie went halfway between second and third and has to retreat. And Markakis retired for the second out. Yelich played right field last night. He's in center tonight for Keon Broxton. And here's Kurt Suzuki with 2 outs and Freeman at second base.
Craig Counsell's added a couple of left-handed batters tonight, hoping that they have a little better luck against Mike Fultonevich than the right-handers.
Craig Counsell's club has the best National League record. 52-35. With Chicago losing, the Brewers at the moment are 2 up in the Central. The Reds won again today. They beat the Cubs at Wrigley. Jim Riggleman 2 games over 500 as the Reds interim manager. Play high to Kurt, and a ball and a strike. So an extended inning for Peralta, who had a long inning against the Reds in his last outing. And that has cashed in a leadoff walk. And slapped out a play right side. Braves are hoping for a refreshing final 3 days here in Milwaukee after the brutal heat and humidity in St. Louis and New York.
I had 68 degrees at game time.
Sounds about right. And no humidity. 1-2 pitch. It is fouled away. You talk about a Chamber of Commerce day. Today was the day in Milwaukee. Not a cloud in the sky all day. Friday afternoon, fans and folks were out in downtown, walking along the lakefront, getting ready for Summerfest and Braves and Brewers tonight. Perfect time to visit southeastern Wisconsin. The 1-2. Throwing strike 2 hasn't been a problem. Getting strike 3 has been. He's gone to 2 strikes to all 5 Atlanta hitters here in the first. And now it's a 2-2 count for the Braves catcher. And that's outside. 3-2.
Well, like I said, his secondary stuff is a little slow to come around by comparison to his fastball and his location with his fastball. But his curveball has been better. The reports I had on it were that his breaking ball has been better his last couple of starts, despite the numbers in Cincinnati.
3 full counts to the first 5 hitters. And Peralta will need at least 30 pitches to escape the first inning. And the pitch is smacked toward right. Thames on the run. He dives and makes the catch on the track. That saved a run and maybe a big inning for Atlanta. Thames, a former first baseman, makes a spectacular grab to bail out Peralta here in the top of the first. This year, let's see how Mike Foltynewicz fares as he takes on the high-flying Brewers, Joe, who've won their last 4 in a row.
Here's Mike splits, home and road, 4-3, a 185. He's got good numbers in both places. Batting average against him is about the same. His ERA overall, 2.02. That's number 2 in the National League, number 3 in Major League Baseball, behind Severino of the Yankees and DeGrom of the Mets. His 4 keys tonight: go deep in this ball game if you can. I hope he ate more than a banana today. That's all he had before the St. Louis start. So hopefully more than a banana today, and he can go deeper into this ball game and get off to a quick start like he did in St. Louis. He got a double play in the first inning, only faced 3 guys, struck out the side in the second.
So Eric Thames leads off, the former Brewer first baseman, getting some time in the outfield because Aguilar has been so good and so productive at first base. This guy made such a splash for the Brewers last season. A ton of home runs in his first few weeks in a Milwaukee uniform. His return to the U.S. He hit 31 homers in 123 starts. His first major league action since 2012. He played in Korea and fouled away.
Well, that was a great catch. A, because he's not an outfielder by trade, but also because Kurt Suzuki never hits the ball that way. So he wasn't playing him near the line. He had a lot of room to cover.
A shift on Thames, and Foltynewicz pulls a string, and he's ahead with his first strikeout and a 1-0 lead. Here's the rest of the Brewers lineup. Christian Yelich bats second in center. Jesus Aguilar is their first baseman, batting third. We'll look at Travis Shaw, who had a big year last year for the first time. Braun, Miller, Pena, Saladino, and Peralta on the Toyota lineup card for the Brew Crew. 18 multi-hit games for Christian Yelich. 1 for 3 last night with an RBI. And lots of head-to-head work with Fultonevich from the NL East in years past.
That's great work. 9 for 20 against Mike.
Mike didn't think much of that call as it's an even count. And Yelich couldn't stop himself.
Mike says the biggest difference between this year and last for him has been his slider, and that was a good case in point.
And I was just going to say, when he pitches, he's awfully fun to watch. When he's rearing back and just throwing max effort, max velocity with every pitch, it can be a struggle. And this should be an easy out. And it is. Yelich is retired, 2 down. He's gotten the first 2. Let's see if he can get Aguilar, the Brewers' red-hot first baseman. He drove in his 56th run last night with a sac fly. And is already at 19 homers and 56 driven in, and we're not yet at the All-Star break. This guy was quite a find for the Brewers as well.
You need a pickaxe? Have a little trouble. Does he have spikes on or just rubber cleats?
Look like rubber cleats or tennis shoes almost.
Yeah, that's a problem when you're trying to dig in. Except with the force on those shoes right now at 300 pounds, you'd think that would make a difference.
Well, this guy really forced his way onto the Brewers roster last year. Got him from Cleveland. He had to make the team. He had a great spring. He did. Played 133 games, hit 16 homers. He's already flown by that here in the first half of the year. And didn't get his first RBI until April 21st. That was a pinch hit walk-off homer against the Marlins. And in the dirt. And as Joe told you last night, because he wasn't starting here, he is not even on the All-Star ballot for the National League. But I'll bet you Dave Roberts thinks about picking him. Pitch way outside. He's 4th in homers. He's 9th in RBIs. The pitch lifted to the right side, over by the Brewers dugout and on deck circle, but no play for Kurt. So Aguilar will see a 6th pitch. As always, that's worth noting with Fulte. He can keep it 14-15 an inning. He may be having a special night. He's off to a great start, a couple of strikeouts, and he preserves a 1-0 Atlanta lead. Johan Camargo leads off in the second next.
Manfred left the game early, and it was because of an injury. He's been suffering a blister situation on his middle finger, and that resurfaced last night. Well, today the Braves did place him on the 10-day DL. Evan Phillips has been recalled back up from Gwinnett, and he will be available out of the bullpen tonight, guys.
All right, Kelsey, thank you very much. Braves 1, Milwaukee nothing, second inning. And Camargo Acuna and Dansby Swanson are coming up.
You know, talking to Brian Snitker before the game about that blister problem.
Slap toward left and right at Ryan Braun, who makes the catch, one down.
He was commenting on how, you know, with all the modern day medicines and preventative measures, you'd think that somebody would have come up with something by now to help prevent blisters for pitchers. And it's something that plagues Max Fried quite often.
Yeah, just ask Rich Hill of the Dodgers, who's dealt with those seemingly forever. So with Fried to the DL, that means the Braves will have to make a decision as to who pitches the second game against Toronto on Wednesday. Ryan said that Mike Foltynewicz could be back on regular rest if needed to pitch that one at SunTrust Park.
Now Evan Phillips has been called back. He worked some good innings in New York. He'll work out of the bullpen.
Swing and a miss by Ronald. A ball at 2 strikes. Acuna 7 hits on the road trip. He was 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch last night. Peralta pitching in, if you'll pardon the pun, for this injury-riddled Brewers starting staff that suffered another blow today. Brent Suter, who was supposed to pitch here tomorrow, had to go to the disabled list with the dreaded forearm problem. So Aaron Williamson will be called up, and he'll make the start tomorrow afternoon. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Acuna is strike 3 at the knees. And there's out number 2. It's Aaron Wilkerson, I beg your pardon. Can't even read my own writing. Wilkerson will start tomorrow.
That was a good fastball. Down. Had some life to it. Had a little hop on it, too.
So he settled it after a 30-pitch first inning. He's gotten 2 outs on 8 tosses here in the second, and Dansby the batter. 0 for 3 so far in the series. 1-0 Braves on 2 first-inning hits and a strike. Up and away for an even count.
I like Peralta's color-coordinated glove. Nice.
Kind of like these home unis for the Brewers. Pinstripes, royal blue, and I guess you'd call that gold-colored trim behind the letters and numerals. I love the cap.
Yeah, it's old school. They've gone back to that logo for their caps. It was a big hit back in the 80s.
Not a surprise, their team back then was known as Harvey's Wallbangers. They knew all about hits, didn't they?
Yeah, they could. What a lineup.
And this edition of the Brewers has matched the 1982 Brewers mark after the first 87 games. They're 52 and 35. The pitch is down the line and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yount, Gantner, Molitor, Cecil Cooper, Ben Ogilvy, Gorman Thomas, Charlie Moore. What a lineup.
Old Brewer infield thought that was strike 3, but it appeared to be a ball or two off the plate. James Hoy calling balls and strikes, and another full count. That's the 5th full count among the first 8 hitters. That was a tough way to pitch, but he's down only a run. I'll fly back our way, and Dansby will see another one. Sharply hit toward third, dropped by Shaw, but he picks it up and pulls him out, and that retires the side. Braves are out in order in the second. They have a 1-0 lead in game 2. In the second, after Mike got him 1-2-3 in the first. It's time for our Toyota Tweet of the Week. Our question is, if you can, please make your case for Mike Foltynewicz to make the National League All-Star team. Tweet us at Fox Sports Braves using the hashtag Folty2ASG, and your answer could be read on our Braves Live post-game show.
I would think that he would be a strong candidate, given what he's done, and while his record may not be something that gets your attention right away, his ERA and his average against and complete game shutout to his credit already. Strikeouts, 2 in the first inning, give him 109 strikeouts in 90 innings.
Well, if he wins today and wins one more start, that would give him potentially 8 victories before the All-Star break, as Travis Shaw leads off. But Joe, the way he's pitching and how stingy he's been in runs allowed, he could become one of 6 Braves with a sub-2 ERA at the All-Star break since 1933. The 5 that have done that for the Braves: Greg Maddux, Phil Niekro, Jair Jurgens, Tom Glavine, and Lou Fetty. All got to the All-Star break with a sub-2 earned run average.
Doggone it. Jair Jurgens had such a good first half that year. Looked like he was on his way to a great career and got waylaid by injuries.
2-1 pitch to Travis Shaw, missed outside. Shaw has been playing through wrist problems for the Brewers. That's why his average is at .244, but still 15 home runs. And he launches this one to deep right, but it's playable for Markakis. And shy of the track, there's the first out. Braves held him down last year. He was 1 for 17 at the plate against Atlanta pitching. He's 0 for 1 so far this year. And here's Braun. Times have been tough at the plate for Ryan of late. He's 1 for his last 13. Braun went 0 for 4 last night. Reached on a force play, and then Max Fried picked him off at second base. And a strike. No, Ryan's not waving to the fans behind home plate. He's asking for time. And he was on time with that pitch, and he rifles it toward right center. But Ender is there, and he caught it up against the fence.
Great running catch and a great adjustment mid-route. He was cutting across and then had to give ground because it was hit deeper than he initially thought, and made a great adjustment on it. Had it all the way. Nice play. Right here. He had to turn, make a little left turn there to go a little deeper.
That's going to cost him on the route efficiency, though, Joe, and we know how important that is. As Brad Miller digs in.
Are you sure Braun's not just asking for complete and utter silence while I get in
Could.
the box?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
I think so.
Miller's done a nice job at the plate for Milwaukee. Right now he's riding a 9-game hitting streak, which is a career high, and the longest hitting streak by any Brewer this year. And another chance for Ender. He's spreading again toward the gap. Takes a peek at the wall to the deep part of the yard. He's got enough room. And he hauls it in. Ender got hit on the foot last night. No problem with his flying feet in the second. 2 terrific catches. 3 up, 3 down again for Milwaukee. And Atlanta leads by a run. Running catches, 3 up, 3 down for Mike Foltynewicz, who's going to lead off our third inning. We're taking a great career risk here because Eric Karros will be doing the national game tomorrow's in the booth, and he doesn't have a time.
Well, hopefully.
Who's taking the risk? I think I'm taking the risk right now. Come on, you guys are dressed well. You know, I've been checking you out the last few games. I thought I was going to see the polo shirts and everything, and that was New York and St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
When it got down to 68 here.
Golly, I know it's cold here, right?
If only those numbers were backwards, we'd have been in business. How are you, man?
Everything's well. I'm looking forward to a great game tomorrow, right? You know, Brewers, Braves, 2 of the top teams in the National League. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah, I think the Braves, maybe some folks say, Eric, nationally a little ahead of schedule. The Brewers had a much improved year last year, but they're holding off the Cubs, the Cardinals, and everybody else in the Central.
Well, you know, you look at both of these ball clubs and what they've been able to accomplish. I don't think you know, look at Milwaukee went down to the last weekend of the season last year, and they, you know, they made some strides, but I'm not sure that people thought, well, they're going to be a team that's going to compete with the Cubs this year, maybe a wild card. And the Braves, look at this is an organization that, you know, is poised for something maybe 2-3 years down the road. I don't think anybody expected, you know, the youngsters and Brian Snitker has done this year, you know, for them to arrive right now in July, that, hey, they're one of the top teams in the National League.
Yeah, I think, Eric, one of the things you mentioned, Brian and his staff have really done a good job with these young players, making them feel comfortable where they're just having a good time playing and performing.
And I think, you know, to what you're saying, Joey, from a national perspective, watching the Braves, they're a fun team to watch.
Yes, they are.
You know, not only what they do on the field, just, you know, the athleticism, but just the enthusiasm. I'm watching the game the other night, and I watch a ground ball hit back to the pitcher, Chassin, who looks Albies back at third and then throws to first, just lobs it over there. Albies takes off. I mean, that's crazy. That kind of enthusiasm, that excitement, you know, it's a great time to be a Braves fan.
We talk about it a lot, Eric, and it goes back to the era in which you played, I think, and the era in which Joe played. There's been so much talk about three-outcome baseball offensively. The Braves are an anti-three-outcome team. They play baseball the way you guys played it when you were in the middle of your major league careers.
Well, they haven't gone to the conventional way yet, and that doesn't mean, and it's not right, wrong, or anything, but it's definitely, as a fan, it's more exciting to watch a team that makes things happen, whether it's out in the field, the defense, or running the bases. Even tonight, you know, watching Albies, you know, he hustles into second base and then, you know, tries to go to third. Okay, is it the best of base running? Okay, maybe not because of the outcome there, but this is also the same guy that scored last night.
That's right, and that's what I said too, that you give him a pass, or you think, you know what, we didn't complain last night when he was trying to
100%.
score on that, so
Exactly.
we love
right.
the hustle.
Who does this guy remind you of, Eric? Is there anybody that comes to mind when you see Ozzie in your mind's eye and live?
So I will say, from a hitting standpoint, and it's not a body type or anything, but it's Vladimir Guerrero. Just in that, I'm watching a game last week and I see him swing at a pitch that hits him, right, against Betances. And then a night later he hits a ball, you know, into the third deck off of Herman.
Christian Yelich in right center makes the play. Can you stick around for another half inning?
I'm supposed to be in the other
Oh, you are?
booth.
Well, then go fine. Go put your tie
I'll
on.
get in trouble.
They're just paying you
Thanks,
more.
guys.
They're paying
Go
you
get some
more.
ice cream, but use the right cup. You'll get in more trouble. Eric Karros, you'll see him tomorrow on Big Fox. Coming your way tomorrow as the Brewers host the Braves at 3:30 Eastern on FS1, and the Marlins take on the Nationals at 7 Eastern on Fox, or you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Actually, Eric wasn't called over to the other booth. We just got word that from LA that he didn't have a tie on. Take a hike.
Either that or get to the department store in time for his game tomorrow.
He'll look sharp tomorrow.
Yes.
There he is in the Brewer booth.
Sucking up to the home team. Unbelievable. Thought he was on our side. Manny Pena, the catcher, takes a strike. Currently, Mike Fultonevich has a 1.98 ERA with 2 scoreless innings. He sent down the first 6 in order. Pena spent a little time on the disabled list with a right calf strain. He's hitting .225 on the year. And that is popped towards short and just off the glove of Dansby and into left field.
That was a great effort. And the biggest cheerleader in the ballpark was Dansby's third baseman to his right. Johan Camargo was so disappointed he wasn't able to come up with it. Almost.
Great effort, but the Brewers have their first base runner of the game, and that brings up Tyler Saladino. He knocked in a run with a 1-for-2 night last night. Gets ahead, strike one. He's throwing lots of strike one pitches so far in the game. And 0-2. Fly ball, that's big time trouble. It's also a big fly and a 2-run homer.
I want to tell you something, folks. That was crushed. Hanger upstairs. And Maston, he knew it. He didn't have to look at it.
So the Brewers have given Peralta the lead. It's 2-1. Saladino has hit his 4th homer. The Brewers now with a homer in 12 straight games. They're second only to the Dodgers in home runs in the National League. And so for the moment, that run the Braves didn't get in the first is looking big. Milwaukee leads by a run. And a strike. That's out of play right side for Peralta, who does not yet have a hit this year.
Obviously, Saladino was farther along in his rehab than everyone was led to believe, because the Brewers were talking about Saladino being activated sometime over the weekend, and he was back ready to play last night, recovering from a sprained ankle.
So here's Thames. Eric struck out swinging in the opening inning. And he's a big swing and a miss. Brewers got some bad luck with Thames early in the year. He torn the ulnar collateral ligament in his thumb, and that cost him 41 games. And then when he came back, didn't really have a position because Aguilar had played so well that they had to move Thames to left. Tonight he's playing right, where he saved a run. And as Joe said, this guy was a fantastic find. Brewers signed him through the 2019 season, a club option for 2020. And he hit 31 homers. And he beats the shift. So the third hit of the inning for Milwaukee, first of the night for Thames, and he's aboard in front of Yelich.
And he might run, believe it or not. He's 5 for 5 in stolen bases. And sends one right through the hole on the shift.
I'll tell you something. If Bernie the Brewer was on base, this team would run. 68 steals for Milwaukee, including 3 last night. So here's Yelich. He bounced out his first time up. Milwaukee's taken their first lead tonight. A home run by their 8th place hitter, Tyler Saladino. In for a strike. Thames has 5 of those 68 steals for Milwaukee. He has a short lead here. The pitch. He's punched foul to the left side, 0-2. And did that one get him on the foot? I think it did.
On a 0-2 count. Went to the inside of his knee. Man, that hurt. Like a slider.
Even Craig Counsell knew that had to hurt. The Brewers manager grimacing as Yelich went to the dirt. And Chuck Hernandez is to the mound. A strikeout of the pitcher after the homer, but now a hit and a hit batsman sets it up for Aguilar, who struck out to end the first inning.
Regroup. First time that Mike has given up as many as 2 runs in a start since June 6th at San Diego, when he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. And more than 2 runs, you got to go all the way back to May 4th against the Giants, when he got rocked for 6.
A strike. One thing that might help Mike is the double play ball. Milwaukee's hitting to 74 double plays this year. Aguilar has hit to 6 of them. And the catcher is hitting to 10 to lead their club. Thames and Yelich have big leads. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball belted center field. Ender will stop and admire that one. Off the scoreboard in straightaway center. Two homers in the third, 5 runs across, and Milwaukee leads by 4 just like that.
He'd only given up 6 homers all year, but he gave up 2 already this inning, and this was another one hit a long way.
Wow. .20 home runs for Aguilar, 59 RBIs. Milwaukee has turned around a 1-0 Atlanta game with a big third inning, and they're not done yet. They don't hit for a high average. Boy, they hit a lot of homers.
They don't get on base a lot. The on base percentage is not very good.
Shaw hits one toward left, and Acuna will catch that. And that's out number 2.
Well, Mike's been pitching so well, it's time for the offense to pick him up.
See if he can get Braun, who flied out to deep center back in the second. That might have been a sign that maybe there was some trouble brewing, because Shaw, Braun, and Miller all hit the ball deep in that second inning. This one's chopped at the plate, foul. Here in the third, Saladino and Aguilar have hit it out of reach. That's smoked, and Ozzie can't get that. Man, they are barreling up Fultonevich in the third inning. Thames hit one through the shift. Ozzie couldn't get to that. Braun hit that one on the screws, and Ozzie couldn't get the glove up in time as that whistled by.
Looked like he might be able to spear it, but it was by him. That was a fastball. It was down, but pretty straight.
And Brad Miller again is the batter. Saladino playing shortstop for Milwaukee. Arcia was sent back to AAA because of his struggles. And Joe, there was some talk maybe the Brewers will dip into the trade markets and add a big name at shortstop.
Yeah, there were rumors with the Brewers and the Manny Machado sweepstakes.
Just what the rest of the league needs is Manny Machado's bat in the middle of this Brewer lineup. 0-2 count. And strike 3 retires the side. Mike strikes out 2, but the Brewers strike back with 2 long homers. Saladino to left. Aguilar off the center field scoreboard. A 5-run inning gives the Brewers a 4-run lead.
Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Well, there's the one and only Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, the longtime voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. He, of course, the iconic Bob Uecker seat. In section 422, you can sit there for a buck because it's right behind a pole, which is awesome. What a nice man. He's been sidelined of late. He's got a bit of an eye problem, scratched cornea. Wasn't able to work last night's game. Hopefully he's feeling better as Freddie Freeman leads off. Braves have some work to do now, down 5-1. Peralta, after a shaky 30-pitch first inning, has set down the last 8 in order. Markakis and Kurt Suzuki to follow. And down and in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Braves are big Pirates fans tonight. Phillies are in Pittsburgh. A series with the Buccos. That one in the middle innings. We'll update that score for you in a second. And Freddie didn't get that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phillies lead 5-4 at PNC Park. Atlanta and the Phillies separated by a game in the East.
Pirates have been struggling. They had a tough time out west.
Dodgers homered them to death. And Freddie shoots one on a short hop to first. Aguilar makes the play and steps on the bag, 1 out. Nick Pivetta has the ball for the Phillies, who've won 6 out of 7. The Phillies are starting a long 4-city, 11-game road trip that will take them up to the All-Star break. While the Braves are playing all these winning and first place teams going into the All-Star intermission, that's not the case for the Phillies. They have a schedule, at least, very soft schedule going into the break. 1 out for Nick. He flat out to center. And takes upstairs, ball 1. He looks like a different guy all of a sudden.
Well, he was getting ahead 0-2 in the first inning. He just couldn't finish guys. Now he's finishing.
No swing. 2 balls and a strike. I don't think Craig liked that appeal call.
He wanted to swing, of course.
And now Nick digs in and slashes one toward left center. That's going to get down for a hit. Ryan Braun plays it cleanly. A 1-out single from Markakis. That snaps a 9-hitter in a row retired string by Peralta. And here's Kurt. Well, he put a good swing on a first inning pitch. Only the great play by Thames took away a hit and a Braves run.
Also snapped an 0 for 10 for Nick.
Avoid that ball.
Little leg kick, little can thing.
One ball, no strikes. Bouncing ball to third. Friendly hop for Shaw. There's 1. There's 2. And the Atlanta 4th inning comes to a close. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Shutdown inning for Peralta.
your local Ford dealer. And the Georgia Lottery.
Well, let's see if Mike Foltynewicz can rebound in the 4th inning. Milwaukee sent 9 to the plate last time up. They brought home 5 runs on 2 long homers, and the trio that got things started is the same 3 that greets him here in the 4th: Pena, Saladino, and Peralta. As we said last night, when the bottom part of the Milwaukee order feeds the top, this is a fearsome Brewer lineup. That happened last night. It's happening tonight.
And something that had not been happening. Most of their offense, what they've been having, and they've been having a little trouble scoring runs. Pitching had been carrying them. But all of a sudden, that's turned around. Two home runs, accounting for 5 runs last inning.
So Pena with a single and a run scored. He came home ahead of the Saladino homer. That one's way outside. 1-2. Pena's out of Venezuela. Came over from the Tigers. A little pop in his shallow right. Markakis comes galloping in and gets there for the first out. That was a no-doubter off Saladino's bat. That gave Milwaukee a 2-1 lead. Four homers, 11 RBIs for the Brewers shortstop. Didn't get that high heat at 97 miles an hour. Strike 1.
I'm thinking he's kind of lagging this move from Chicago to Milwaukee. He didn't have to go far.
Line drive toward Acuna in left, and he makes the play. Yeah, that short drive earned him 22 games in the standings, too.
Yeah. Not that far a drive, but gained a lot from last to first.
So Mike could use an easy inning. He faces his mound opponent Peralta, who's 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts, including 1 last inning. He's backing away, wanted no part of that pitch. Strike 1.
Mike could have a good contest going. Who can step in the bucket the farthest?
He put it in play, and a nice play by Freeman to his left, and that retires the side. Johan Camargo leads off. We head to the 5th already. Brewers lead at 5-1. 4 complete in Milwaukee. The Brewers lead 5-1 in Game 2. Now it's time for the T-Mobile Hats Off for Heroes feature. Tonight's focus is on Brewers pitcher Jimmy Nelson. See his good work. Finalist for the Bob Feller Active Valor Award. And Nelson, a good pitcher who's sadly on the disabled list with rotator cuff problems.
Yeah, they really have missed him in the early going. That's why they put so much stock into these young pitchers that have stepped up, including Peralta, who have done a great job for them in the absence of 3 guys that were supposed to be in the rotation that are on the DL, including Nelson.
Wade Miley and Zach Davies, the other 2. Nelson and Davies last year won 29 games combined for the Brewers last season. A year that saw them go 86-76, a 13-game improvement over the 2016 season. Time to go to work. Johan Camargo leads off the Atlanta 5th. 5-1 Milwaukee. Johan flied out to Ryan Braun in his first trip to the plate tonight. Mile-high fly ball toward right. Thames near the line, near the stands, and he leaps and plays it off the padding, and that's a foul ball.
But at least he smiled about it. He kind of had that sheepish look on his face.
Good try. But it popped out of his glove. And Greg Counsell talks it over with James Hoy.
They're blocked down there. They can't see what's going on. James Hoy's trying to tell him, don't waste your time.
So no challenge.
The only thing I can think of maybe was Craig thought a fan interfered perhaps. But a swing on the house for Johan.
And that one off the plate, ball 3.
He's got a better delivery on his breaking ball too. He was telegraphing it in the first inning, not so much anymore.
Now it's a full count. 5 full counts to the first 8 Braves hitters, has given up just 1 run. Pitch count high, he's at 71. But he set down 10 of 11 as we enter the 5th. And a shot to the shortstop. And they had Camargo played perfectly. Saladino makes the play. 1 out. Here's Acuna. He struck out looking his first time up. Rays are trying to continue to do something that's very impressive. They're the last team in Major League Baseball yet to suffer through a 4-game losing streak. They have dropped their last 3 on this road trip and trail here tonight.
Talking about these batting averages against Peralta and how good they are. He gave up 2 hits in the first, 1 in the 4th. That's 3 tonight. 15 hits so far on the year in 32 innings. That's quite good.
And righties have almost no chance against him. The 3 Braves right-hand hitters tonight are 0 for 4. League 3 for 49 from the right side of the plate against Peralta. And a swing and a miss by Acuna. He struck out twice.
Well, that's as advertised. He likes to go up there. He's not 97. He's 93 with that pitch, which is good enough. But he can pitch at the top of the zone.
Dansby, the batter, he bounced out to third his first time up. it's strike after strike.
A little wide.
Only 3 guys in the park know what is happening. Swanson, Pena the catcher, and Hoy the umpire. And of course us, because we see them chatting about that first pitch. So point made by Dansby. Let's see what happens on the 1-1. Two balls and a strike. He's got the pitcher Fultonevich next. He's got a 4-run lead. You know he'd like to get Dansby here and start the 6th inning with the pitcher. And now the 3-1 count. He's fouled back. Another 3-2. And Swanson walks. So Peralta walked the first man in the game. That cost him a run. He issues a 2-out pass to Dansby here. And Mike Fultonevich will take matters into his hands with 2 outs.
That was a good at bat by Dansby. Didn't let that first called strike affect him. Hung in there, got the walk. Pena did a nice job of calming his pitcher down by telling him it wasn't a strike on ball 4.
No swing. Ball 1.
Somebody's going to throw a pitch where Mike is running out of the box and swinging, and it's going to go a long way.
Right here would be nice. It's 1-1. Mike 2 for 29 at the plate with 21 strikeouts.
But he does have a double, and he's got 2 RBIs.
That was close.
And that's the last thing you want to have happen is get picked off with the pitcher out.
So a ball and 2 strikes. And here it is. And that is the inning. 5 strikeouts for Peralta. Top of the Brewers order is coming up. Pirates fans tonight and the rest of this series. Braves, though, have to take care of their own business. They have dropped 3 straight. They're trailing by 4 runs tonight. And Mike Fultonevich will go to the top of the order with Eric Thames leading off. Thames has struck out, singled, and scored tonight. And that's in the dirt. Ball 1.
He's pitched well. And that's hard to say when he gave up 5 runs and they batted around in the 3rd inning. But he made one mistake, and that was the hanger to Saladino. The home run by Aguilar was down. It was a fastball, maybe had too much at the plate, but it was down at the knees. He just golfed it out of here. Strong man.
As we mentioned, Eric Thames making his return to the major leagues last year. Got off to an unbelievable start. He hit 11 home runs and scored 28 times in April last season. Big reason why the Brewers had that drastic improvement to 86 wins. He had a hit in his first 12 starts to start the year, which was also a new Milwaukee record. Bad for a man that had 21 major league homers in 319 games going into last season. Went to Korea, totally reworked his swing, won a batting title there, won the home run title over there with the NC Dinos, and then the Brewers signed him as a free agent in November of 2016. Hits this one right at Freddie, who's got it, and that'll be the first out. So Mike has set down 5 straight. And 6 of his last 7. And here's Yelich, who was hit by a pitch and also scored ahead of the Aguilar homer. The pain of the hit by pitch from the Braves perspective was that it was an 0-2 count. And Christian on the left knee. He's out of play. And Mike ahead of him. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and I was watching him as he was trotting in front of Aguilar. He didn't seem to be having any trouble at all. One of those first-round draft picks that really panned out, proved to be who everybody thought he was, and that was one of the best hitters in the draft this year. Got to the big leagues quickly and hit at every level and kept hitting when he got here.
Yelich was the 23rd pick in the 2010 draft by the Florida Marlins then. You're right, he flew through their system, got to the big leagues in 2013 and played in 62 games. The 2-2. And a swing and a miss. There's a good pitch from Mike. And he's got his 5th strikeout. 2 quick outs, and Jesus Aguilar hit one where eagles fly last time up.
Now, there's nothing light about Jesus Aguilar, nor was there anything light about that flight of that ball. 433 feet.
StatCast powered by AWS. Aguilar now with 20 homers, bats with the bases empty in the 5th. When we get to the 6th inning, the Braves will have their top of the order hitters coming up. The 2-1 pitch. He's fouled at the plate. At 2-2. Boy, have we seen some gigantic human beings opposing the Braves on this road trip?
Sure have. He would fit in nicely in New York, wouldn't he?
Judge with Stanton, Tansis and company. Yikes. Pitch is bounced foul. And still 2-2.
Mike did a nice job of changing speeds on Yelich to get the strikeout. He's trying to do the same thing to Aguilar.
Wow, what a catch in the third deck. One-handed grab by a fan. And we'll do it again. And a shot to left, and Acuna's going to have to play that on a couple hops. It skips by him up against the fence. And Aguilar has another multi-hit game, his 21st of the year. He's at second with 2 out.
That was an inexperienced mistake in left field by Acuna. It was hooking, but he was going to be able to get over there and cut it off. And this is where you have to know who the runner is. That guy's not going to go for 2 unless it gets by you.
And so Travis Shaw gets a chance to hit with a runner in scoring position. Travis has a great baseball lineage. His dad, Jeff, was a former 2-time All-Star who played for 6 big league teams. Quite frankly, I don't know how Shaw did what he did last season for Milwaukee. Not due to any lack of talent on his part. What was happening at home? He and his wife, Lindy, have a daughter named Ryan, who was born with a hypoplastic left heart syndrome that required 2 open heart surgeries in June of last year. She was in the hospital for 4 months.
Hard to stay focused, isn't it?
Yeah. And was finally released from the hospital after the Brewers' season ended. And through that, Travis Shaw hit 31 homers and played 144 games. That is remarkable. 2-2 pitch is in the air to center. Ender broke back, but now has it measured up. And that retires the side. Top of the order coming up for Atlanta in the 6th inning. The Brewers with a couple of homers lead 5-1. We're in Game 2 at beautiful Miller Park. Bullpen, which got a night off for the most part last night, trailing if you can avoid it. Right guys at the right time for Brian Snitker. Ender Inciarte leads off. He's walked and scored the lone Atlanta run. Peralta has retired 13 of his last 15 hitters. And a leadoff walk cost him a first inning run. Since then, though, he's been very effective.
And like his last start, he weathered the storm in the first inning. He's come on to pitch 4 shutout innings since.
You talked, Joe, about those crazy numbers that he's had. I mean, all of his numbers are good, but especially so against the right-handed batters he's faced. Is there anything that you look at that would make him extraordinarily tough for a right-hand hitter to face?
If his breaking ball is on, and it wasn't in the first inning, but it's a good one, and he can, looks like he's throwing it at a couple of different speeds. I may have it confused with a changeup, but I think he's throwing his breaking ball a couple of different ways tonight, and one is kind of a big sweeper.
And Ender earns another walk. That's his second of the night. And a good start to the Atlanta 6th. That's 3 walks for Mr. Peralta. And the Brewers bullpen is busy. Jennings is up again. Here's Ozzie. He doubled in the first inning. He's also flied out. This is another one of those ballparks where a 4-run lead isn't all that comfortable. Not with the firepower the Braves have.
And not the way the ball jumps out of here, especially with the roof open.
Let's see if Atlanta can string together some hits and then somebody pop one and get back in front here. 5-1 game. As he laid off that pitch above the tomahawk. Even count. That's lifted toward left center, but Braun had his man played perfectly.
He plays deep, doesn't he? He didn't even have to go back on that. He just cut across.
So 1 on, 1 out for Freddie Freeman, who doubled in the first and bounced out to Aguilar in the Braves' 4th. His double went right down the first base line. It'll be tougher to hit one that way now with Aguilar holding Ender at first. Pitch. Here's a strike.
That really plays. At 92 and 93 miles an hour, that plays where he goes up there. It's got a little hop on it.
And then with 2 strikes, Shaw moves across the diamond and plays between the first baseman and the second base bag. The 0-2 pitch. And Freddie chased it.
Again, upstairs.
As you called it, Joe, that is his big out weapon for the strikeout. And he has struck out 6 Atlanta hitters. So Markakis up for the 3rd time. Nick's 1 for 2. As Joe said, that single did last time up, snapped an 0 for 10. Phillies have extended their lead in Pittsburgh 7-4. That game's in the 6th. Miami and Washington tied 2-2. That game is in the 8th inning at Nationals Park. some kind of comeback by Washington last night. One for the ages.
8 RBIs for Trey Turner.
He set a record in that game with those 8 RBIs. He was the leadoff man. Runner goes. Pitch is a ball. The throw to second is a strike, and they got it. Pena just threw out his 10th would-be base stealer. And the Braves are out of luck in the 6th inning. Markakis will lead off the 7th. It's still 5-1 Milwaukee. Now, folks, this is the big Friday night showdown. Not only the Braves and Brewers presented by Kaiser Permanente at Miller Park, but the world-famous Johnsonville sausage race. Had a little problem at the back end.
Down goes hot dog.
Yeah.
What a comeback by the Italian sausage. Thank you very much.
By a nose.
Over the chorizo.
In a classic race. I mean, last night's was really kind of
It was a little dud.
Yeah. Polish sausage won last night if you keep score of such things. So Mike Voltanevich back to work. He's got Braun, Miller, and Pena coming up. Everything going the Brewers' way so far in game 2. It's a shame, the cruelty of baseball. You pitch so well, you make 2 pitches you wish you had back, and they cost you 5 runs. That's really the fate for Voltanevich tonight. And for the Braves, a weird first inning. They get a double by Albies, an error scores a run, and they get an out on the same play. Chopper toward third, in between Hop. Camargo surrounded, and he got his man for the first out. It's 5-1 Brewers. They bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stick around for the stretch. Brought to you by Synovus, the bank of here. Jerome will keep us updated on all the action around the major leagues tonight. Here is Brad Miller. Be a major league rule. They have to have a guy named Miller playing in Milwaukee.
It is. It's widely known.
He has not been Miller Light with a 9-game hitting streak. Let's hit a mile to the left side and into the upper deck. Aguilar almost tore that sign down with a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. That's where we stand. 5-1 pitch. Heads up, back our way. Ball ricochets back into the stands. Man, almost picked off the fender.
He's broken-hearted about it.
He has plenty of opportunity to drown his sorrows if he wants.
I say, beer vendor usually has his eye on the prize.
Pitch. It was caught on and missed. Fultonevich gets his man. That's number 6 for Mike tonight. He's gotten Miller twice. And here's Pena.
That was a great throw he made to get Ender. Good pitch by Mike, running in on him. 6th strikeout for him.
The Brewers already know the Cubs have salted away a 3-2, or was beaten, I should say, by Cincinnati 3-2 today at Wrigley. They can pick up a game on Chicago if they can hang on here in Game 2. That 6-game winning streak was stopped today. And then really it's all there for the Brewers in the division. They lead the Central. But Joe, they have a losing record against the Central. That's going to have to improve. Craig Counsell's club.
What are they doing against the Reds? They usually have a horrible time in Cincinnati.
Let's see. The Brewers this year are 7-3 against Cincinnati, 5-2 there.
Okay. And the Reds are 7-3 against the Cubs.
So that's helped because Milwaukee has lost 8 of the first 11 head-to-head with Chicago this year.
We're going to have to get that turned around.
2-2, 2 outs. And Pena is pushed back. Full count. Well, Mike is giving the Braves bullpen what they hope to get tonight. He's taken the game into the 6th inning. And he just struck out the Brewers catcher for his 7th of the game. A 1-2-3 inning. Markakis will be back at work. He was in the box when Ender was thrown out. It's 5-1. Good news, Peralta's out of the game. We'll tell you who the new Brewers pitcher is as we enter the 7th inning in a 5-1 game.
At Rooms to Go, you can go any way you want. Go style, go savings, go today.
The new pitcher for Milwaukee is right-hander Jacob Barnes, 27 years old, out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
And he's just the first in a long line of guys that they can use when they have the lead late in the ball game. Peralta went 6 strong innings, only gave up the 1 run in the 1st inning. Barnes has a good arm. 32 strikeouts, 33 innings. Right-hander's not doing much with him. His fastball 96 to 98, and a slider. Now I might have to see this one. That's 89 to 93. You ever seen a 93-mile-an-hour slider?
I don't think I'd want to see one.
I know I wouldn't.
And so Atlanta finds itself, Joe, where you don't want to be against the Brewers. Excellent pen.
Yeah, because of all those good numbers. It's second in the major leagues to the Yankees in a lot of categories.
Sharply hit by Nick Markakis. Welcome to the ball game, Mr. Barnes. I think a multi-hit game, another one of those for him, and a good start to the 7th inning. Well, I said it last night, and I didn't say it flippantly or without thinking. This Brewers team is very similar to the way the Yankees play. They hit a lot of homers. They have a rock-solid bullpen. They are tough to beat on their home field. The only difference is they have a bigger right field porch. Yep. Than Yankee Stadium. Here's Kurt Suzuki, runner at first, nobody out. And downstairs. One ball, no strikes. .155 runs for the Braves, starting in the 7th inning to the end of the game this year. They've hit 32 home runs from the 7th inning and beyond.
There's a 91 slider. And there's Jesse Biddle.
Peralta went 6, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Braves last night had a grand total of 3 hits. They've got 4 in this game.
If you want to get to the postseason, you got to have good pitching. If you want to go deep in the postseason, you better have a good bullpen. And the Brewers are showing that at the moment they have an excellent bullpen.
.3-0 for Suzuki. All help would be appreciated here. Got over. He made him throw a strike. 3-1. Camargo's next. And there is that help. 2 on, nobody out.
I like that. Derek Johnson's the pitching coach.
So a quick visit here in the 7th inning. They want to get Barnes through this inning. Pitcher spots due second when the Brewers hit after the stretch. And what's now a 5-1 game. But the surest way to get the Braves back in it are free passes. Atlanta's cashed in 1 of the 3 that Peralta issued. Now Suzuki's aboard with Markakis at second base. Two aboard, nobody out in the Atlanta 7th, game 2. Line drive into right field, and Thames will play that safely. So the Braves have loaded the bases with nobody out. And Barnes has been greeted rudely. And now Acuña's coming up. And he represents the tying run all of a sudden.
And the natives are getting a little restless. Camargo had his 10-game hitting streak snapped last night. He just started another one. Braves offense, as you probably know by now, it seems like they're at their best from the 7th inning on.
lot of Braves fans still loyal here in Milwaukee. They're starting to make some noise as Acuna digs in. He has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. A strike.
Heartbreaking ball.
Big gap in left center. And fouled at the plate. Ricocheted off Pena's gear and back toward the mound. It's 0-2 just like that. Braves had 2 hits through the first, had 3 hits through the first 6 innings. They've got 2 here in the 7th. A walk sandwich between. Great chance to creep ever closer in a 5-1 game. Will they try to ride that high fastball by Acuna here? Or a slider, the pitch. Well off the plate. It's 1-2.
Anybody that's got a slider that can range up to 92, you got to use it in these spots.
He's been a tough man to score against. He has had 26 scoreless outings in his 31 appearances. That's in jeopardy here. Now it's 1-2. Little chopper hit towards Shaw at third. Bare hand try, can't get it. Everybody's safe and a run is in. And Acuna flying down the first base line. He had a little bit of a ginger approach as he decelerated down near the warning track.
Sure did.
And Brian Snitker's going to come out and take a look at that. That did not look good as he made his way down the first base line. It'll be an infield hit and an RBI. Will Acuna be able to stay in the game?
Digging hard out of the box, knowing he had to hustle. Right there you can see him trying to limp to a stop. Taking him out.
Can't risk it.
I don't know if it's the knee or if he might have strained a hammy or what it might have been, but yeah, can't risk it.
Again, Acuna walking off under his own power. He will leave with the base hit and an RBI to make it a 5-2 game. And all of Braves Nation will collectively hold its breath and hope for the best for Acuna. Charlie Culberson will take his place and pinch run at first base.
Meanwhile, the inning continues, and the Braves are in pretty good shape here to get some more.
It's Dansby Swanson's turn. You know how good Dansby has been this year with runners on base. Let's hope that continues. Line drive into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. 1 run scores. They're going to wave Camargo. The ball dropped. Everybody moves up an extra 90 feet. Yelich drops the ball in center. The Braves get 2 more runs. We got a 1-run game and 2 are in scoring position with nobody out. Unbelievable.
Yelich came charging in hard. In fact, I was thinking that Camargo might have a tough time trying to score, but he never caught it. He may have looked up a little too soon to see where the runner was and overran it. That'll end the night for Barnes. He did not retire a hitter.
4 singles, a walk, 3 runs, and the runners at second and third, his responsibility as well. So what was a 5-1 Milwaukee lead is now a 5-4 Milwaukee lead, and the Braves are rolling late again. Let's enjoy this Braves 7th inning, shall we?
Visit your nearest Advance Auto Parts store to get the quality parts you want from people that know a lot about them.
Atlanta with 3 runs, 4 hits, a walk, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And Dan Jennings, who picked up his 2nd career save last night, will come on and face Danny Santana, who will pinch hit for Mike Fultonevich.
Yeah, he was 6 up and 6 down last night. 2 strikeouts. Looked sharp.
So one of those days for Barnes. Let's see if Atlanta can add to his miseries here with a couple more runs. They need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead.
And Seitzer had a late word with Danny before he went up there.
There you go. Apparently so. Marvin Hudson rings him up, strike 1. Santana 1 for 3 as a Braves pinch hitter. Charlie Culberson, the runner, at 3rd. Swanson at 2nd. No balls and a strike. Almost hit it.
Danny's been around long enough, veteran hitter, that there's nobody out and the tying runs at 3rd base. The only guy that's playing in on the right side is Aguilar. So if he can just put the ball in play on the ground, almost like getting a runner over from 2nd, to tie the game up.
Ender Inciarte waits on deck. Jennings faced him last night and struck him out looking. 1 and 2, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, 3 runs in. And Jennings ready, here it is.
Jennings is primarily fastball slider also. But as we saw last night, he can get some ground balls. Good late movement on his fastball. Trying to keep the slider in on Danny.
Jennings was released by Tampa Bay at the end of spring training. The Brewers signed him 4 days later. And here he is in a big spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not close. 2 and 2. The pitch. Didn't offer.
That was close. That was a pretty good pitch.
It was. But now it's a full count. Here it is. Santana's hanging tough.
He is. That was a tough pitch to fight off. It was a big, slow breaking ball.
Another payoff pitch. Got it. Tantalizing pitch. Santana swung over the top. And now Ender becomes the key man of the inning. It's a lefty-lefty matchup, however, for Milwaukee. Mike Foltynewicz down a run in this game now. He has to hope the offense can help him out, and the bullpen can hold him right there.
I'd be surprised if Ender drops a bunt down.
First pitch swing, fly ball toward left. Braun is going to try to fake everybody out, and in foul ground doesn't make the catch.
That?
I think he was trying to deke everybody. I don't know if he was going to catch it. And if you do make that play, Charlie could tag at third.
Yeah, the game's going to be tied. He was trying to catch it.
And then he begged for fan interference.
No, that's a tough call. You talk about okay, then what do you do? Because Charlie would have tagged.
Right.
If they called interference and ruled Ender out, that's bad for the Braves, because what do you do with the runner at third?
The fan was reaching over the field of play. And so you can understand why Braun asked for the challenge. I don't know if he was going to make the catch anyway. The pitch. Moving off the plate inside, 1-1. And the rule for that is, if the ball is in the stands, fans can do whatever they want. But if the ball is over the railing, can't touch it. And if the umpire's discretion, it's interference, the batter can be called out. Two balls and a strike. It's a good catch, though. It's Jennings versus Inciarte. 2 balls and a strike. And now 2-2.
Big pitch right here. He's got one he can waste if he wants. He can throw the breaking ball and try to get Ender to chase it, to try to make sure he doesn't strike out on a borderline pitch. Fielders are backed up. Even Shaw at third base is backed up a step or two. Aguilar again, the only one that's in close.
Jennings ready. Here it comes. And a good take. Ender's seen the ball well tonight. He's walked twice.
That was a real good sinker. But again, he's got a base open. He's might try the same pitch. He might try the breaking ball off the plate.
As he's red hot, he waits on deck. Freeman to follow, we hope. As the Braves have scored 3 times to make it a 1-run game. Bouncing ball off the pitcher's glove. He recovers and fires to first. 2 out. And now it's up to Albies.
Jennings has done one whale of a job.
Yeah, he came into the series, Joe, not pitching real good baseball. Giving up a lot of runs, a lot of hits. Over his last 16 outings, which includes his 2 great innings last night, he'd given up 11 earned runs in 19 1/3 innings.
Wow. Well, all I know is he's retired 8 straight Braves going back to last night. And in this spot, a strikeout and a comebacker to prevent any more runs from scoring.
So Barnes a struggle. Jennings trying to bail him out. But a tough hitter in Albies who bats right-handed. He's doubled and flied out twice. He's got a huge hole right side to play with if he can poke one that way. And a wild swing, didn't get it. We got the word on Ronald Acuna Jr. He left with a left groin problem. It's not the knee, it's the groin, we're told. Kelsey will have more on his situation when she chats with Brian Snicker on Braves Live. Three in, second and third, nobody out. Now there's 2 out. And still 3 in. The pitch. Bouncing ball to Shaw at third. He's got it. Throw to first in time, and Jennings an unbelievable job and a fist pump well deserved. Atlanta had a golden opportunity to get it tied or take the lead, and Jennings bails out Barnes and limits the damage to 3 runs. It's 5-4, 7th inning stretch at Miller Park. Charlie Culberson, he'll stay in the game for Ronald Acuna Jr., who left with a left groin injury after picking up an infield hit in the top of the 7th inning. Jesse Biddle will be the second Braves pitcher after Mike Fultonevich departs after 6 innings of work. And he'll have the 8, the 9, and the 1 hitters coming up for the Brewers. The 9 will be Jennings' spot. The Brewers pitcher just did a great job to preserve a 1-run lead. So here's Saladino. He's hit a 2-run homer tonight. And Jesse Biddle's first pitch of his evening. He's downstairs, ball 1.
Biddle's coming off a good outing at New York. Got the win in that extra inning game. 2 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, a walk, and he struck out 4.
after Saladino. Brewers will call on Nate Orf to pinch hit. He's waiting on deck. Saladino helped him out. Swing at ball 3, and now it's an even count. Full count to the Brewers leadoff man here in the home 7th. Brewers just battle back to make it a 1-run game. Can't give him any more. Pitch is hit toward third. Nice play by Camargo, almost fell down. And a laser strike to first for out number 1. Well, Johan is playing some third base, folks. Pretty play there, and it will be Keon Broxton, I believe, instead of Orth, was called back.
A little off balance there when he was out over his feet a little too much, but that arm makes up for a lot. He has been outstanding defensively, playing great baseball.
Keon Broxton called back June 26th from Colorado Springs. That's when Lorenzo Cain left with a left groin strain. 2020 year last year, but a lot of strikeouts, and with the glut of outfielders that Milwaukee had, the man that started 113 times in center field had to go back to AAA. Which is the point Joe made last night about the depth of this Brewers system right now. Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, it wasn't just him either. 2/3 of their outfield had to go back. Lando Santana, the other guy, who hit 30 homers.
Ball and a strike to Keon Broxton. It's a guess that Broxton's going to stay in the game and probably replace Ryan Braun. They can, or Thames.
Yeah, I'd say go to center and move Yelich to right.
And we'll see who comes on to pitch for the Brewers. Broxton laid off, and it's an even count. Patience by Broxton here. He's got a 3-2 count.
Yeah, and that's not the norm for him. He's usually up there hacking.
Jeffress getting ready for the 8th inning. The pitch. Swung through it. And Biddle strikes out Broxton in a pinch hit roll. 2 up, 2 down.
Good hook. And threw it on a 3-2 count. Nice.
Man, Kurt's glove didn't have to move a bit, did it? So we go back to the top. Here's Thames. He has singled, scored, struck out, and grounded out.
.95 from that fastball. He was doing that in New York.
Doesn't see many left-handed pitchers. This is only his 19th at bat against a lefty this year. Now, in fairness, he missed 41 games. But still 4 for 18 is he, with 5 strikeouts against left-handers. And he couldn't offer there. A ball and 2 strikes. Freeman, Markakis, Suzuki in the 8th for Atlanta. They have 6 outs left. They're down a run. Biddle turns it loose, and Thames swung widely and misses. 3 up, 3 down for Jesse Biddle. Good work for the Atlanta left-hander. The time is now for the Braves. Let's see what Freddie and company can do in a good game. It's 5-4 Milwaukee here in Game 2. Keon Broxton will stay in the game. He'll move to center field. Christian Yelich will move from center to right. And the Brewers go to their bullpen again. It's the third pitcher of the game for them. And it's another terrific talent. Jeremy Jeffress is on for his 42nd game. Look at those eye-popping numbers.
107 ERA. Come on now, really? 132 average. 169 average. Really? Fastball, curveball, changeup. He'll throw a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer. Tops out at about 95 or 96. Get some guys on again, see what happens.
Interesting choice by Craig Counsell as Freeman laces one down the line and just fouled. That time that fan couldn't catch it. You have Freeman and Markakis, two left-handed hitters. They have Josh Hader, who's a terrific left-handed relief pitcher.
He must be trying to give him another day's rest. That's the only thing I can figure out. Jeffress usually is somebody that works more in the middle of the game in relief of the starter. Get the starter out of the jam.
Stare down at Freddie Freeman after he threw 97 by him. Freddie has a double tonight. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. Pena will pick it up and throw him out. Well, you look back at a lot of moments in a game like this. The first inning run the Braves didn't get. They left Freddie Freeman at second base with one out. And in the 7th inning, second and third, nobody out. The Braves couldn't get the ball out of the infield and settled for 3 in what's now a 5-4 game. Opportunities, those you wish you had back. But one swing of the bat could tie it up. As Markakis bats and takes a strike. Jeffress last pitched on Wednesday, got the win, went an inning and 2/3. He went from April 7th to May 27th without allowing a run. That was 23 consecutive outings, which tied a team record held by Doug Jones and John Axford.
He's earned the death stare that he's throwing toward the plate. He's pitched well enough to do that.
Lined into center field, and Broxton can't get it. How about old reliable Nick Markakis? 3 for 4 tonight after starting 0 for his last 9. And he represents the tying run.
Might want to turn around and stare at that as it's going into center field. Nick's had a good night. Braves needed one of those last inning.
This is not the first go-round for Jeffress as a Brewer. He was originally a first-round pick, was traded to Kansas City in the Zach Greinke deal, went to Toronto, signed as a free agent with the Brewers, then was traded in the Jonathan Lucroy deal, and then Milwaukee brought him back last July 31st for a pitcher named Taylor Scott.
Third time around, third time's a charm.
Yeah,
I remember him being with Texas recently. He certainly got a good arm, and they must like him or they wouldn't keep bringing him back. And he's having a great year this year.
Advanced inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Barnes gave up 3 runs without retiring a batter. Jennings bailed him out. Now Jeffress has a runner aboard with 1 out in the 8th, and a good fastball hitter, Kurt Suzuki, up there. Pop fly, slicing toward the stands, and no play. 2-1. Jeffers turns 31 in September. Lives in Phoenix. He was their 2008 minor league pitcher of the year.
See if Kirk can find a gap somewhere. Turn one of those fastballs around.
Pops one out of play.
Mad at himself for missing it.
So it's 2-2 for the Braves catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Margot on deck. Here it comes. That was close.
That was. Could have gone either way. Nice job by Pena to make it look even better.
Braves are down a run. You've got a full count. Short lead. One out. Pitch. And ball four. Braves in business. 2 on, 1 out. Camargo the hitter. So that's 2 walks for Suzuki. His last 2 times up.
2 good at bats. Really good.
And that'll bring up Camargo, the Braves third baseman. Johan singled and scored in the 7th. Now Atlanta's in a spot where another single could get it tied. Ron, Broxton, and Yelich, the Milwaukee outfielders from left to right. Ball 1. Braves got 3 last inning. They've got 2 more runners aboard here in the 8th.
Took a little off. As you would expect with their bullpen, they have a very good 1-run record, 20 and 11.
Even count. Again, took a little off.
Just turned it over a little bit, down and away, and Johan trying to think pull. Really pulled off those 2 pitches. Take him right on out a little farther outside, see if he offers.
The 1-2 pitch now. Maybe that pitch will set up something outside. Let's see. 2-2. Culberson on deck. Charlie came in for Acuna, who left with a left groin issue.
Johan's got to be willing to get jammed here. He's got to make sure he's got that outer third covered. Room to go to the left side if he goes to left field.
Bouncing ball up the middle. At short, Saladino 1, and the throw to first, a double play, and Jeffers escapes.
Bottom of the 8th inning. Jesse Biddle still out there. And you know, we say this all the time. A lot of things to be excited about with the big league club right now, but there's a lot of excitement still waiting to get up here. One of those guys is Kyle Wright, and he's the focus of our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot. The Braves' first-round draft pick last year. He's on a great stretch right now in Double-A, and today he was named to the MLB Futures game. Actually, the only Braves minor leaguer to make the roster. Last year, Mike Soroka and Ronald Acuna were the representatives. So you guys, I'd say he would love to follow in their footsteps.
Yes, he would. You know he would, Kelsey. The thing about Acuna and Soroka was that they were on the world team, not the U.S.
That's right. And Wright not the only guy making some news in the minors. Touki Toussaint, 6 2/3 innings, a run in his AAA debut. Bruce Zimmerman at Double-A went 6 innings, 4 strikeouts. A.J. Graffinino, Tony's son, 4 for 5 in his debut with Danville. His ground ball to short. Will take care of Yelich, and that's the first out in the Brewers' 8th. And Austin Riley. We talked about Riley and his knee injury earlier this year. Well, Riley got a game in with the Gulf Coast League Braves on a rehab stint. He went 1 for 3. All of those news and notes from minors, good ones tonight.
Yeah, that's exciting about Toussaint, especially after his last 3, 4, 5 starts at Double-A. It turned outstanding. Got promoted, made the best of it. In the upper 90s.
Aguilar, a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. He's also doubled and struck out tonight. In the 9th, Culberson, Swanson, a pinch hitter, and hopefully more. Corey Knebel is the Brewers' closer. He is getting loose, I presume, in a 1-run game. And he is. Good. 2 balls and a strike.
You got a good one in New York, and you got a good one tonight. I just think it's cracked up that he kind of abandoned that slide step, no leg kick at all delivery that he had when he first joined the team.
You asked him about it. I loved his answer.
Yeah, you just tried it. The bullpen felt good.
How good do you have to be able to do that? Totally change your delivery and just come in and deal. Jesse's doing that. Full count. Aguilar is still alive. Milwaukee 5, Braves 4. 8th inning pitch. Little pop into shallow center. That's going to float in for a 3-hit night. He's hit them all shapes, all sizes tonight. Little blooper there. He's got a double, and then, of course, the home run off the scoreboard earlier.
He came into the game in a real dry spell, too. 2 for 18 with 10 strikeouts after last night's game. Look at him next to Freddie.
We've seen that picture before, haven't we?
Oh, my goodness.
Aaron Judge for the Yankees dwarfed the Braves' first baseman. So here's Shaw, lefty versus lefty, and a nice stop by Kurt Suzuki. Ball 1.
The other thing about Aguilar is that he's not just an all or nothing guy. He's hitting right at 300. I think tonight he's gone back up over 300. We don't like seeing him do the damage he's doing to the Braves, but you gotta appreciate guys like that with their perseverance.
Dansby races to the bag, throws off balance to first. He got the lead runner. That was a tough play. No chance with the shift on for Dansby to outrun 2 runners, but he got Aguilar for the second out. Shaw at first, and Ryan Braun coming up.
Yeah, running to his left, stop, run back to your right, and throw. You know, he and Ozzie have a good time. They're talking all night, either about a play or about the potential of an upcoming play and positioning. Who's got the bag?
That's a carryover from last year, even before Ozzie was here. Remember, Dansby and Brandon Phillips had that great rapport up the middle.
Well, the thing that catches my attention is the way they interact, not just on the field. You know, you always see them having a good time. Ozzie always is playing second base because he got moved there when Swanson came into this organization. There could be some ill feelings about that, but not so from Ozzie. Not from Ozzie. You never see any sign of that. No talk about it. Very happy doing what he's doing, and he should be. It's terrific.
Probably on his way to the All-Star game.
But it would be easy. There are a lot of guys who would have said, you know, I should be playing shortstop. I was the shortstop.
2 balls and a strike for Ryan Braun. He's 1 for 3. Miller got that over to even the count. Swing and a miss. Braun is retired. Biddle's breaking ball was spectacular again tonight. 3 strikeouts over 2 scoreless innings, and it's last chance for the Braves in the 9th. Presented by Kaiser Permanente. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey, Kelsey Wingert with you. Game 2. We're through 8. Milwaukee leads by a run. It's 5-4. And Milwaukee will go to Jonathan Villar to play second base for the top of the 9th inning. And the Brewers closer is Corey Knebel. He has saved 10 games this year. He saved 39 games in 76 appearances last year.
He's only got 10 because he's been hurt. He was on the disabled list. But check him out. 21 plus innings, 34 strikeouts against only 9 walks. Nobody's getting any hits off of him. You can see that. Fastball, curveball, upper 90s. He got bailed out the other day on a great catch by Broxton, who brought a home run back. Well, it might have spoiled a save for him.
So Charlie Culberson is the batter and takes downstairs from Knebel. He was originally a Detroit Tiger. Went to Texas with Jake Thompson for Joaquim Soria in 2014. The Brewers got him in a deal from the Rangers for Giovanni Gallardo. Bringing it.
Brewers and Rangers do a lot of trading.
Knebel 6'4", 223, lives in Leander, Texas. was the closer for the Texas Longhorns. 37 saves at Texas, second most in team history. Houston Street, the only man with more. Popped up. And VR, who just checked in, will be tested right here. Look at Charlie run the bases, but he's the first out. Let's take a look at tonight's Cricket Something to Smile About feature. Dansby Swanson in the 3-run seventh contributed.
Yeah, big hit, clutch hit. Yelich contributed too by overrunning the ball. Good hustle by Dansby to take the extra base. He floated 2 runs to get Atlanta within 1.
But Jennings came in and continued his great work, retiring the next 3 Braves hitters. Jeffers came in the 8th, had 2 on, 1 out, got a double play. And now Knebel has the first out of the 9th. Dansby puts a good cut on that pitch and fouls it away.
Hook. What a good weapon that is after 97.
One ball, 1 strike. Ryan Flaherty's grabbed the bat. He's going to pinch hit for Jesse Biddle, who worked 2 innings of 1 hit, 3 strikeout ball.
Great work.
The 2-1 pitch. Not that called.
He can't give him that pitch at 98. He's tough enough without getting that.
Especially with the reach. Pena back there. That changes the count dramatically from 3-1 to 2-2.
Had to guard the plate, too close to take.
Washington beat Miami 3-2. Phillies are up 14-4 over the Pirates. Here it's 5-4 Milwaukee.
That's how the Pirates are getting beat just about every night.
Yeah, they were clobbered by the Dodgers out west, outscored in that 3-game series 31-8. The pitch. Sharply hit, one, and at bat by Swanson. He went the other way, went down and combed it into right field.
Sure did. 98 too. That is not easy to do, and a guy's bringing it like Knebel. Be able to stick your nose in there and go the other way. Great job. Tying run aboard. Find a gap somewhere, Ryan. Braves have 2 guys left on the bench, Flaherty and Flowers.
Ryan's had 1 at bat on the road trip. Missed high, ball 1. Top of the order lurking for the Braves here in the 9th inning. They've had base runners all over the place starting at the 7th inning. One ball, no strikes. Runner goes. Pitch a strike. Throw to second is in time. Dansby says he beat the wrap. The tag looked to be on his waist.
It did. He got a good jump, too. It's almost like a pitch out for Pena, the way he came out of there.
So Quinn Walcott with the call at second base. This is a huge call in the game.
I didn't think there was any doubt that Inciarte was out. I have big questions about this one. Tagged him on the backside.
And his hand was on the base, it looked like, right there.
Yeah.
I think he's safe.
I do too. I also don't like the way Saladino threw that knee down right there. At least he was out of the baseline. Some infielders will throw that knee down trying to block you off the plate, take out some fingers. No, he's safe.
Yeah, I think
gotta
he's...
be.
Now, again, with New York, you never know. Is there enough evidence to change the call, which was out at second base?
Walcott, watching a replay on the big screen here, may have been screened from his position as to when Dansby actually hit the bag. He may have been screened by Saladino.
Either way, there was going to be a challenge on this call at second base.
Sure.
If it had been called safe, the Brewers were going to challenge it. He was called out. Atlanta is going to challenge. And what worries you is as long as this is taking, it often doesn't bode well. He is out. It's a joke.
It is a joke. Nonsense. Protect the brotherhood. That is weak sauce.
And it's not because there was definitive evidence that he was out. It's that there wasn't enough evidence to change the call of safe. To change the call from out.
That's why they shouldn't know what the call was. That is weak sauce, boys.
So Flaherty still represents the tying run. He's got a 1-1 count. And now the Braves are down to their last strike. One ball, two strikes. Knebel wants a new set of signs. Ball game. Milwaukee hangs on 5-4. A bend but don't break special by their bullpen. The Brewers gave up 3 runs in the 7th. The Braves in the final 3 innings left 3 men in scoring position, couldn't get it tied, and Milwaukee has won the first 2 of this series, and it's a 2-game shootout to try to split it for Atlanta here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.